Ladies and gents, we're back from halftime, and we had some issues on the defensive side. The entire team, we were struggling. So we had to go ahead and make some adjustments at the top level of the organization. So we need to go ahead and make some adjustment at the head coaching spot. Man, we went out and got a prime time guy to kind of keep the secondary, most importantly, in line. Former NFL player and former NFL head coach. 33 interceptions as a player. Oh, yes, he was a beast on the field, not just standing on the sideline with his headsets on. 4 playoff appearances as a head coach in the National Football League, currently the head coach at Arizona State University. Unfortunately, he beat my Florida State Seminoles in a bowl game in 2019. So he's doing a real good job out there in the deserts, doing a real good job. No other than Herm Edwards is joining us here on the show, All Things Covered. Pat Peterson, Bryant, McFadden, we excited to have you on, Coach.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, but I tell you what, this show is, I've never been on a show where it's been 3 DBs all at once.
Oh,
That's hard to handle, man. That's hard to handle.
The most important position on a football team.
No doubt about it. You have to have selected memory.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir. Hey, Coach, man, talking about defensive backs, there's so much we can talk to you about. You know what I mean? But let's go back to your playing days and give you some props as a player. You had 33 interceptions in your career, which is great, super impressive from the secondary standpoint. But what was your style like as a defensive back?
Well, back in my era, obviously I'm dating myself now. The ball wasn't in the air quite as much as it is now due to the fact that the rules have changed. The game has changed. It's more of a spread out game. It was more of a running game back in the eras when I played. And you go back and look at the great running backs that played I came in the league in 1977 as a rookie with the Philadelphia Eagles, played there for almost 10 seasons and actually had 38 interceptions. I had 5 more in the playoff competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Gotta count those.
I
don't know why
I gotta count. Well, those are more important than the regular season.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
No
Why
doubt.
they don't
No
add
doubt.
that on?
But that's okay. But my style was, I wasn't like Patrick. Patrick, watching him in college. I can remember studying him in college and watching you as well. Now Patrick was a guy that, the thing that you can't coach, and you guys both know because you played, you cannot coach instincts. Can't coach that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't coach ball awareness, especially when your back is turned away from the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When the ball's in the air, you can do all the drills you want, and the coach, we're going to do these drills. No. There's instincts involved in that. You have to know when the moment of, when do I turn to look to play the ball?
Right.
Patrick played the ball. You played the ball. I played the ball. That's how you intercept passes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was never an intention to knock it down. The knock it down is at the last moment. But basically, if I put myself in position to see the ball, I was going to catch the ball. I mean, that was just my whole mindset. So in my era, I played a little bit of press, but I wanted to watch the read of the quarterback.
Yeah.
I read the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I would sit off at about 8 yards, and I would, most of the time, 90% of the time, I'm playing inside leverage. And I wanted to read the progression.
Why were you playing inside leverage, Coach?
We played zone, and 3 deep zone a lot, but it was really man-to-man. I played the X. I was always the right corner. So I played the X.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to read the progression of the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I knew this, a quick game of the quarterback. 1 step, 2 steps, ball coming out fast. This is a double move. They only got 3 routes. Hit, slant, quick out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they got. 5 step in my era was routes that were 10 to 12 yards. The curl, the out, right? The glance.
Yeah.
Anything after 5 step was deep. It was post goals. That's what it was. And so I had a good enough the ability to feel the quarterback, to see and feel the receiver. And once the quarterback told me where he was stepping, I had an idea of what routes they were running.
Right.
I was that kind of guy. I wanted to look at the quarterback. I wanted to feel what he was, especially in the quick game. I wanted to see the quick game come out. Now, it's not my football when I played different than you guys' football.
Yeah.
Quarterback was under center a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Now the guy's in the gun. I mean, what, 3/4 of the time?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these guys, 4 wide receivers. We thought the whole National Football League changed when the Dallas Cowboys lined out with 3 wide receivers. We said, what is that? all in one time? That was like, whoa. That was one of them deals, man.
Right.
So, I've watched it evolve. But the one thing that stands true is this: you need a guy, a corner, that can cover.
Right.
That sets the whole precedence of your defense. A guy that can cover, and you need a rush guy.
No question.
Those are the two components of a great defense. You need a rusher, and you need a great corner. Now, what I would do when I was a coach, I flipped. See, I would. Patrick would have never covered. He would never cover that guy, right? He wasn't going to cover him. I was going to double that guy with my second corner and safety, and I put Patrick on the number 2 guy. So guess what? I shut 2 players out.
Yeah.
You got to throw to the third guy, unless you want to try Patrick on your second guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you ain't. There is no way you're going to throw at Patrick Peterson he's covering your number 2 guy 22 times.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're doing that.
Yeah, you're right. Right. That's a yeah.
So that's how my philosophy was. Okay, let's take the first guy out. We'll double him.
Yeah.
My best corner's going on the second guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna cover that guy and make them try to beat you with that guy. Well, they got to throw to the third guy. You out of luck.
No question.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, and with the game, what are your thoughts on how the position has evolved now, and what do you appreciate mostly about how the position is played today?
Well, I appreciate the skill level of the players that play in the secondary, because you can't touch them anymore.
Right.
I mean, I came in. Look, my second year, they put in the 5-yard rule where you couldn't hit them anymore.
Yeah, the Mel Blunt rule, right?
Yeah, there you go. They put that rule in the second. You know, my second year, it was like, done. You can't touch these guys. At the 5 yards, can't touch them. Right. So for me, the way the ball is in the air now, oh boy, I mean, you can't have enough corners on your team. You need 3 of them.
Yeah,
you really do. You need, because they play with 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, and the guy that is multi-dimensional, in other words, that can play in the slot, they can play outside. Now Patrick could do it all. He can play in the slot, he can play outside. You can see that in college, his skill level. But the thing that I keep harping on is this: ball in the air. Does the guy play the ball or the man? Mm-hmm. I want DBs that play the ball. I've told every defensive back I've ever coached this. I say, the only thing name on that ball, the commissioner's name. It don't belong to anybody when he throw it.
Right.
It don't belong to the offense just because they threw it. And they're like, right. I gotta throw it. No. The ball belongs to the commissioner. And when they throw it in the air, if you want to go steal it, man.
No doubt. Hey,
I love
it. No question. Listen, for our listeners that are watching us on YouTube, and for our viewers that are watching us on YouTube, and our listeners that are listening to us through their podcast, this is a great coaching episode here, because coach is fired up. He's dropping some big time nuggets when it comes to the secondary standpoint, and I'm pretty sure he has a lot left when it comes to the overall standpoint, because he's a knowledgeable guy. Coach, I'm going to throw out a date to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go back in time. November 19th, 1978 is known for Eagle fans as the Miracle at the Meadowlands, and for Giant fans as the Fumble. Did you realize that day how famous or infamous that play would become? No, you have no idea. And you can imagine this, guys. There was no sports shows after. Mm-hmm. Like, there was no, you watch a game, you watch a game now, you watch on TV, there's a sports wrap-up show and all. That wasn't happening. And so when you think about what occurred, this is what occurred after that play. Mm-hmm. Quarterback started taking the knee after that play, but also lining the guy behind the quarterback to make sure if you ever fumble a ball, somebody would tackle a guy. That's why that came about. Yes. After that game, that's when that started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's just like anything else. You're sitting there figuring, hey, man, they're going to take a knee, they're going to kill the ball. And all of a sudden they try to hand up, it's botched. And I get it and I see it, and I'm running because no one's blocking me. I'm coming off the short edge because everybody's in tight. And I'm talking to the up back. I'm shaking his hand before the play starts. I say, man, good game. We see you. And all of a sudden I go around the guy and the ball bounces off the court and no one sees it. And I see the ball bobble on the ground. And I said, if I can get it on the first snap, I got a shot.
No question.
I run it in, and from there you look back, and you mentioned 1978. Yeah. They still talk about that stuff.
I know, man.
But hey guys, you know this. When you play our position, I've always told DBs, You can be on the bad end of a highlight or a good end of a highlight. I was on the good end that time.
Hey, Coach, do Giant fans still, feel some type of way when they see you if you're in New York? Do the diehard Giants fans feel some type of way still about that play?
Well, no doubt about it. And it's amazing over the years, people will walk up to you and they say, Coach, I'm going to tell you exactly where I was when that play happened. They kind of go back, they relive it. And I always tell them, don't take it personal. It wasn't personal.
Right.
Right. But it's amazing how many people said they saw the play.
Mm-hmm. No question. And the funny thing about that play, and as a coach, you emphasize always play through the whistle, right? And clearly you guys thought the game was over because no one thought that would happen. A fumble on basically a kneel down. So just imagine, Coach, if you were just being a bit lackadaisical and not hustling.
Well, this is why you always say finish.
Yes, sir.
Know what's going to happen, right? We always say, we take that for granted. Finish, just finish. But here's what's the silly part. So you can imagine Dick Vermeil's my coach. And he's standing talking to Harold Carmichael, who actually is going into the Hall of Fame this year. He's receiver, played on my team. And Wilbur Montgomery was a running back and Worsley was a quarterback. So his back is turned like this, away from the play. And he's talking to the guys. And all of a sudden, the guys are running past him. And he grabs one and he says, where you guys going? He says, Herm just scored a touchdown. He never saw it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he didn't. Coach Vermeil didn't see the play?
No, he didn't see it because he was thinking we're going to get one more play. If we stop him on fourth down, we get one more play. And he's trying to draw up the 7. The players are leaving the bench, man. And he's like, where you going? He said, Coach, Herm just scored a touchdown, man.
Right.
Wow. Cool story, Coach.
So that's a pretty cool story right there, Coach. So after your amazing career in the league, you jumped right into coaching right after playing. What was it? Did you know that coaching would be your path, and what do you love the most about teaching young guys about the game?
Well, I did because I felt, first of all, if you'd have told me growing up in my neighborhood, I had aspirations like we all do. I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be a football player. If you'd have told me that I'd spend 30 years in the National Football League, coaching and playing, I'm going, really? I wanted to give back.
Right.
I wanted to give back to the players. I wanted to do things through a player's eyes. It's one thing I've always told coaches. It's one thing, the coaches got all these manuals and these books, and they're great to have. But I tell coaches all the time, I said, let me tell you something. You got to coach them on the grass.
Yeah.
There's no manual out there when the guy gets beat and he comes to the sideline. You got 4 seconds to fix it.
Right.
You got 4 seconds to basically tell that player, hey, look, this is what happened. This is what we got to do. He coming off the field. He want answers. He don't want to hear, well, I just got beat. No, everybody knows he got beat. Why did he get beat, right? Why did he get beat, all right? And I think, to me, when you play that position and you've been in sports as long as I've been in sports, I have so much experience, so much, I wanted to give it back. I owe football that, right?
Right.
It just being around young people, man, keep you young.
Yeah.
It keeps, you got energy.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, man, when you walk in the arena, I can't play anymore. I always tell people I got 1 hit left, but I can't play anymore. I got one. I got 1 left. That's it. But walking in the arena and watching players compete and being successful to watch them, and I get more joy out of that than anything.
Yeah.
I really do.
And how long were you out before you took the Arizona job?
Well,
and what was so appealing about the Arizona job?
Well, I tell you what, Patrick, when I went to television on ESPN, I was out almost 10 years.
Okay.
And I had chances to come back numerous times, but it was never the right fit. Right. Now, the AD, Ray Anderson, was my agent.
Okay.
Right, when I came out, when I took my job, he was mine, Tony Dungy's. He's passed away now, Denny's, Brian Billick's. He was a bunch of our agents. And so when he became the AD here, he posed the question, would you consider ever coming back? A couple of years before I came back. And I said, well, it got to be the right place.
Right.
All of a sudden, one thing led to another, and now I'm the head ball coach again.
That's awesome, man.
But I love it. Again, I love it, man. I love it. I really do. I love being around the young people. And it's more than football for me. It's growing them up.
Right.
Here's my spiel. If they don't leave here better men, then I failed them.
No question.
Hey, if I can do that, they'll be good football players.
Right.
Hey, you know what? I just got my first piece of coaching over the last few weeks, coaching my little boy's flag team. He just turned 8, so I'm coaching 8 and 9-year-olds. And man, I enjoy and just being able to get, number one, see them improve from the athletic standpoint is a plus, but see them improve from the effort standpoint.
Yeah, man.
And the coaches that I used to be around used to always emphasize effort.
Yes.
Talent is something that people have or they establish, but effort is something that we're all born with. It's only up to you if you utilize it and consistently use it. So I get a joy in seeing that little kids that I was dealing with. And guess what, Coach? My 3 coverages, and we're talking about, Pat, you enjoy this also. We're talking about 8 and 9-year-olds. We run cover 3,
man, and
cover 2, and cover 4.
So you don't need no more.
Oh, no question. I say most of y'all in 2nd or 3rd grade, so I'm pretty sure y'all starting to get involved in infractions. So we're going to talk about 4th of the football field. I got 4 guys in my secondary. Everybody's going to cover a 4th of the football field. Yep. And them little suckers be hustling. So I'm right there with you, Coach. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And that's the key. And you said it. No coach in the history of coaching any position at any level has ever given a player talent. God gives them talent.
Nope.
You give them knowledge. You're a knowledge provider. You give them knowledge, right? And you teach them technique and the fundamentals. And you're right. Effort has got to be part of the program. It's got to be part of your DNA.
Yeah.
Because the position on defense, remember, you're in a reaction phase all the time. You're reacting to something you see. They're not calling the play. We're calling defense, but you got to react to what's about to happen, right? So you're always a little second from behind, and that's where the effort and the finish comes in when you play defense.
Coach, you said something just then. People don't realize playing defensive football is all about reacting.
Yes.
And you're usually reacting to someone who's probably the best in the world at whatever it is they're supposed to do, especially when you get to the NFL.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Luckily, you guys know, I always tell them, look, when you go on outside those numbers, just like on the freeway, right? That you mess around and you go on the right lane and you go in the middle. That inside left lane, that's that fast lane where them cars go really fast.
Yeah.
When you walk out there on them corners, let me tell you, that game is really, really fast.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I stayed out there for 10 years, man. It's fast out there now.
No doubt about it.
No question. It's real fast. Hey, Coach Edwards, coaches are often influenced by those around them. And when you look at some of the coaches that you were around, what did you learn from guys like Jake Vermeil, Marty Schottenheimer, Tony Dungy, who are seemingly all having a big impact in your life and your career currently?
Well, Dick Vermeil recruited me out of high school to UCLA, and I didn't go. I ended up going to Cal Berkeley.
Okay.
And so that's how long I go back with that guy. He was very demanding. He was a taskmaster. But what he did, he hardened you. He tested your stamina. He tested you to a point to where he's going to see if you could crack. But he loved you. Marty was a teacher. He was an educator. He come out of an education background. Marty was a teacher. Was very, very well, and, a motivator in that way. So was Vermeil. Tony, we're about the same age. We came out together in college. That's how far we go back, right? Tony was a guy that was always calm. It's like playing corner. You have anxiety, but there's this calmness. You have to be calm. You can't be, I always tell guys, man, you can't be no emotional player. When emotions get you, you make bad decisions. There has to be a little bit of anxiety in your belly, but you got to be calm until it's time to react, and then you react, right? And that's what I tell people. There's this, and Tony had this calmness about him. When things were going crazy, he was very calm, very calm. That taught me a lot when I became a coach. I was a little bit like a player. When you play corner, you're always out there yakking and yakking. You're talking to the receivers, he's talking, it's kind of. But then all of a sudden, before the ball step, you got to get real calm.
No question.
It's time to go to work.
You got to get dialed in.
Go to work, right? And you got to have that, man. You got to have. People don't realize that sometimes. You have to be calm, man. Because if not, you're gonna make a bad decision. You make a bad decision out there. This is what happened. We got you. We received.
The band playing, as the coaches say.
The band is playing. No
Hey,
doubt.
Coach, we had a few weeks ago, we had the opportunity to discuss how underappreciated Ronde Barber is. You had the opportunity to coach him in Tampa. What do you think?
He's one of my guys.
Yeah, what do you think is preventing him from getting into the Hall?
He deserves to be in the Hall.
His numbers are crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, the numbers. I drafted Ronde, and daughter graduating from college right now. Just got the notice, and it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. John got in. John found I coached Lynch as well. So Lynch and Ronde were part of my secondary down there, and we had Sapp and we had Brooks.
Yeah.
So it should be forward. Ronde should be the next guy to go. But I tell you what, he came in and he was the perfect nickelback. Could play zone, had great zone eyes, could play man-to-man on the slot guy, a good blitzer, right? Good tackler, and made plays. When you look at his numbers, right? You look at his numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a lot of plays. But but you know what? When he first came in, Patrick, you'll appreciate this. He came in, rookie out of Virginia. He was out of shape, and he came to minicamp. And I looked at him, I said, man, I drafted you. And you like, so I told him, I said, I'm going to teach you how to be a pro. Until you learn how to be a pro, you're not going to play. This is a true story. You're asking. His first year, he didn't play a game until we got ready to play the Green Bay Packers, and I probably was week 13. And from that day forward, when I let him play, when I started him, he never missed a start.
Wow.
But he needed to learn how to be a pro. I said, you're going to learn how to be a pro, young man.
Coach, what did he need to do? When you talk about being a pro, explain what you meant to our listeners and our viewers.
Work ethic. Your ability gets you drafted. Your work ethic and how you play, that keeps you in the league. He needed to learn that. What he did in college meant nothing. Now you got to go prove it. You got to glue it on the grass. You got to study. You got to put in the work. And I tell you what he did to and it didn't surprise me. But he'd never been told that. He was such a good player in college. He can get away with not being fundamentally just the little things you got. You can't make a mistake playing DB, guys. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a pretty good defense now. That defense we had in Tampa now, I tell you what.
Was good.
One of the
best ones in captivity now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Who was the character on that team?
Yeah. Dexter Jackson was one of the safeties for Florida State.
Yeah, Dwight Smith. You had Dwight Smith. The other corner was Abraham.
Yeah. Donnie.
And Kelly.
And Martin Mayhew was a part of that squad too. My first year. Martin
first year.
Yeah. But so we had all these combinations of guys, and we kind of put it together. Derek Brooks, obviously who Derek is, and so it was just one of those deals where the standard of how you performed on that defense, those guys wouldn't let you in the huddle. They wouldn't let you in the huddle. You couldn't walk in the huddle. There was a certain way you had to play. It was like, hey man, coach, he can't play for us right now. You had to earn it. And what I needed to do was make him grow up. And he's a rookie, and a good player and all that. And I tell you what, to his credit, when he went in there against Brett Favre and he played, he never missed a start after that.
That's amazing.
And he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves to be in all-around corner. Inside, outside, tackle well, attack the football.
Smart, good man. I mean, good father. Everything, man. All the bases are intact.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get a buzz going because he definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Yo, Coach, your first shot to become a head coach happened in 2001 with the New York Jets. In 5 years in New York, you made 3 playoff appearances. The organization has only made 3 total appearances since then. Why can't that organization in New York, the Jets, seem to get it figured out? And do you think they're finally on the right track this upcoming season in drafting Zach Wilson, who hopefully could be the franchise quarterback they believe he needs to be able to be successful?
Well, I think you guys know this. If you got a quarterback, you got a chance.
No question.
You got to have a quarterback. And I was fortunate. We had Vinny there my first year, and then I had Chad Pennington sitting in the wings. So I had a good quarterback. I had a veteran group of guys. that had played, then drafted some pretty good players, and really became, we won the division, I think, our second year there. But it all starts with the quarterback. Once you get that piece in place, you can build the rest of the team, because if you get the right one, you got a 10-year run.
Right.
If you don't have a quarterback, guys, let me tell you something. That field is 150 yards long.
Right.
It ain't no 100 yard long, guy. It's 150 yards long. It's hard to make a first down when you ain't got no quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just telling you. It's hard, man. It's just too hard anymore. And you got to have that guy. And when you get a young one, I don't care who he is, you got to protect him. You better look. Football is never going to change. You run to win. You throw to score.
Right. I like it.
You
no
run
question.
To win.
Well said.
Score, right?
Yes, sir.
Defense travels.
Yep.
Good defense travels.
Yep.
And in today's game, no different than college, and I look at pros the same way. You're not going to stop teams from moving the ball anymore.
Right.
No,
but you got to make them one-handed. If they can't run the ball, and you making them throw, and you making them throw on the known downs, now you got them.
Right.
Because now you can turn them loose, and you're going to knock the quarterback down.
Yeah.
And then the back end comes to play, right? That's why I keep saying you got to have a guy up there, one guy up there that can go run and hit the quarterback. And then you got to have at least one, and maybe two now anymore, because of the way the spread. You got to have two guys that can cover.
Yeah. Right.
And the rest of those guys you can help.
Yeah.
Now you got a chance.
Yeah.
You got a chance to be a good football team. You got to play good in the red zone, right? You got to play good in the red zone. You can get a couple stops. What? Pro football, 14 possessions. Right? Get about 14 possessions. You get a couple takeaways. You limit some possessions. When you're up in the middle of the third quarter on the road, you run the ball, you control the clock.
Right.
No question.
Right. So, I mean, the game don't change.
Oh, yeah.
The game don't change. I mean, it's a hard game, but certain things in the game don't change. And if you can do that well, then you got a chance. But you need this guy, man. You need a quarterback.
I agree.
Patrick, I mean, both of you guys know.
About it. Oh, yeah. You definitely need somebody that can spin that rock.
Look at the teams that always win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. They added another playoff team, right? So I started laughing. I go, you know what? You could look at the NFL right now and go in the NFC North, or you could go NFC, the NFC, and the AFC. And you go, you could pick, season ain't even started yet. You can pick probably 4 teams out both those sides of the division that say they're in the playoffs. You go, you know why? You said, who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback?
Yep. 100%. I agree.
Ain't nobody played the game yet. You say, who's the quarterback?
Who the quarterback? Of course. That means a lot.
That means he's going to at least win 10. So that means you win. If you win 10, 95% of the time you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe win a division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
well,
Coach,
I was on that 5% that didn't make it to the playoffs, though, that won 10 game.
Yeah, see, that happens every once in a while.
Who your quarterback was that year, Pat?
Who was?
Carson. We went 10-6
Carson.
that year, and Saints had won the last game. I think they played Tampa to go 11-5.
Right, there you go.
Yep.
See, 10-6 usually gets you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey,
sometimes
Coach,
it doesn't work out. It'll be, you know what? It's going to be interesting. Now you guys play 17 games.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting now this year. So, Coach, you was never traded as a player, but you was traded as a coach.
How about that?
Many people may not realize or remember. What was the process like shifting from the Jets to the Chiefs?
Well, it was kind of interesting because I cut my teeth with the Chiefs. I came in. So when I leave pro football, I go to San Jose State and I'm coaching the secondary.
Okay.
I do an internship in Kansas City, my second year there. After my third year, they hired me in Kansas City. Marty's the head coach. Bill Cowher's on that staff. Tony Dungy's on that staff. Here you go. You're going to like this one. Bruce Arians is on that staff.
Oh, yeah?
We're all there together. So Bruce Arians was in Philadelphia at Temple when I was playing for the Eagles. That's how far we went back. See?
Yeah.
So I was on that staff with Marty. And so Lamar Hunt, who was the owner then, when I left and went to Tampa with Tony and then became the head coach, he was still there. And he passed away after I took the job. Dick Vermeil was the head coach in Kansas City. And so he was about to retire. And Lamar said, you think we could get Herm to come back? I get traded. So then I go back to Kansas City.
Wow. And then when did the trade happen? Before the draft?
No, it happened, right before the draft. And
right before the draft. And what did they give up? So it was just an even trade? Or was it players?
They got a third round pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
that with
We
that
got
third
the
round
kid
pick,
from Florida State.
Leon
What?
Washington. Leon
Yes.
Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who the Jets drafted with
Yes.
that pick.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Leon Washington. Yes, sir. He's matter of fact, I think Leon is coaching with the Jets right now.
Is he good for him?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I saw. Matter of fact, I saw him last year. He is
he's a good
coaching
player.
with the Jets. Yep.
Yeah. Leon Washington. Yep, that's who it was, coach. Dead on. When you look at the coaching world right now in totality, collegiately and professionally, why does it seem like we're not making any progress in terms of hiring minority coaches on both levels?
Well, it all starts this way. Who's in the room when you make the decision?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those deals when you're in position of authority. Who are the people in your social circle that you allow to help you make decisions? When they're not connected sometimes to people that we know, you get left out.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of embarrassing. Guys, when I came in the National Football League in 1977, there was only 28 teams then. It wasn't 32, it was only 28. There was only 10 coaches of color. In 1977, not 1957, 1977, there was 10 minority coaches. None of them were head coaches. Right. None of them were coordinators. There were 10 position coaches.
Wow.
And we gotten better, yes. The landscape of the playing field, they're not even close.
Yeah.
75% of the players are men of color, right? Because it's a competitive world. You want to win. That's how sports should be. Now, it should be the same way in the halls of learning. In other words, the men that can coach the game of football. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of giving them opportunities. When you look at the NFL, I mean, it's almost shameful what happened this last year, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, there's going to be an average of 6 to 7 jobs open every year in National Football. That's just what it is. Every coach knows that when he gets involved in this league. Mm-hmm. And to say where we're at right now, it's a little bit embarrassing, to be quite honest.
Hey, Coach, speaking from experience, right? And let's target the NFL. When you were coaching the National Football League, and I would just like to highlight your time with the Jets because you were there 5 years and you made it to the postseason 3 times. Mm-hmm. Since then, they've only made it to the postseason a total of 3 times. So pretty much, you've been the best coach they've had over the last two decades or so, based on your ability to get into the postseason. But when you were coaching in the National Football League, did you feel like you had the leash that some other coaches that are not minorities have?
I felt this, and I think we all do, when you are placed in a position of authority of being the coach. The first thing that we thought about, and Tony will say this too, is that when we took our jobs, we wanted to get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We wanted to get to the playoffs. That was kind of like, if you get to the playoffs, you gain some credibility. And we wanted to do it the right way. And we wanted our team to play in a manner that it represented the game the right way, to make sure that others would have an opportunity that looked like us. Mm-hmm. That's the burden, okay? That is the burden. I mean, my first year, I get to the Jets, I was the first coach ever in the history to take a team to the playoffs. Mm. When I go to Kansas City Chiefs, my first year there, I'm the first coach ever to take their team to the playoffs the first year. Mm. Okay? And you're right, we went to 3 playoff appearances in 5 years. The 2 we don't go to, the quarterback is. I'm playing 5 quarterbacks. I don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Had a good team, had good players, earned the trust of my players. But it's all about the players.
Yeah.
You make decisions as a coach, but it's really about the players. The players got to have ownership. And I tell every coach that's ever coached a game, any game, they respect you, but you got to earn their trust.
No question.
You got to earn their trust, man. Because I was a former player, and you're going to respect the guy with the title, but it ain't about the title. Right. It's about earning the trust of the title, right? Yep. And I told every team I've ever stood before, I said, man, I'm earning your trust. I'm earning your trust now. That's one thing I'm going to do. And I just think that has always been my calling card with players. Mm-hmm. Communication. The best teams, you guys know, you guys have played on good teams, in college and in pros. The best teams are run by the players.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey, coach, hey, look, I told the player, I'm here to serve you guys.
Right.
Help me to help you.
No
That's what it's about, man. Help me to help you. Yep. Look, I get it. I was a this, man.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, so that was my next question to you, Coach. How different was it when you first became a coach, dividing the two? You know, being a player, now stepping into, you know, the boss man in charge. Like, how was that transition?
Well, I think, you know, I always made decisions on. I didn't make decisions for me.
Mm-hmm.
I made decisions for the players.
Okay.
And I always said, when I got ready, when I was caught, and it was a tough one, I'd always go back to this. I take the coaching hat off and put my player hat on. And I said, if I asked these guys to do this, what would I think if I was a player? Okay. And to be quite honest, I do this. I go, but I want to do that. And I go, no. I said, well, then don't do it. Then I didn't make that. Throw that one out. I said, because I used to be these guys. I said, you know, look, players want to know this. Is a coach going to prepare me to get ready to play? Mm-hmm. In the National Football, can the coach help me to stay in the league? That's what the player want to know. Can the coach help me stay in the league? Can the coach help us win?
Right.
That's what the players want to know, right? Mm-hmm. They want to know when they walk in the stadium on Saturday to play on Sunday. They want to know we're prepared and we're fresh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get that.
Right.
I get that.
Do you ever see yourself being possibly a GM one day?
Ooh, I'm to the point now. Look here.
Just curious. Just curious.
For me, this will be my last job.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hopefully I can turn it over to somebody else I'm grooming to take my shot, to take my seat, right? I mean, that's what it's about. Pass it on to somebody else, and then I'm good.
Because you spent a good while in this game, and I'm sure the family would love to have you back home for a while.
Yeah, you know, my girls have been good. I mean, it's funny. I've got a 15 and a 14-year-old.
Okay.
Two little daughters. My son is grown. He's 40 years old now. He's got a little girl. You know, he's doing good. But my girls have been good. They haven't moved around a lot. Guys, to be quite honest now, 30 years in pro football, 4 teams. So I didn't move around a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's one I played for. One was one I played for. My daughter, I got married late. I didn't get married till I was 46 years old.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, because I was playing football, coaching, you know, I wasn't ready to get married, you know, and I found a bride, and, you know, and I got me 2 little girls, but I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I want to just get back to the players and the coaches.
Okay.
I just want to make the game better, Patrick. You know, when I lead a game, guys, I want to say I did something to make the game better. Right. It's better because I helped coach it and I played it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And speaking of, you know, where you are right now in Arizona State, your hiring at Arizona State came with some controversy due to the innovative structure for a college team, adapting a new leadership model and a general manager / CEO role. Why do you think that bothered some people? Well, because it was thinking outside the box. And if you look at Arizona State, it's always been that way. It's, you know, there's this thing that says Arizona State innovation, but here again, this is what it was. It wasn't that so much. It was an understanding from the president, Dr. Crow, and our AD, Ray Anderson, understanding we wanted to bring in somewhat of what we call a pro model. How are we going to do this? You ask our players that are here. If you guys walked into my meeting rooms and if you walked into the practice field, you go, I'm at a pro practice right now. Everything we do in here, these dudes, they leave here, if they have enough talent and they're good enough, they walk into a pro locker room, they'll go, I've done this before. Right. I've been doing this in college for 3 years. Yeah, that's always that mentality. They're going to leave here with a degree. Okay, that's the first thing. They're going to leave here with a degree. And if they got talent enough to be in the National Football League, when they walk in there as a rookie, they ain't going to go, whoa, I don't. They know. When you walk in this building, they know one thing. You better compete. You got to compete, man. Everything's about competition. You got to compete. You got to compete. You don't want to compete? Don't walk in the building. Right. Well, you've been doing, you definitely been competing ever since you got hired. But after a strange 2020 season, including just 4 games, where's the team confidence heading into your 4th season and with the Sun Devils? Well, I think a lot of confidence, really. We were fortunate that most of our guys, only really one senior left, was Frank Darby, the receiver. He ended up going to Atlanta.
But a lot of the other kids that were draft eligible, there's probably 9 or 10 of them stayed. And so it's a little bit of a veteran team now. And it's like anything else, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Got a pretty good quarterback.
That you do.
We got some boys on the perimeter. And you know what I got, though? You know what I got? I've got me 2 good, really good running backs too now.
Oh yeah.
They run the ball. So we got a structure here where the kids have played together for a little while now, and very, very confident football team.
Hey, Coach, quick side note. I had the opportunity to play with one of your former players, Eno.
Yes.
Man, that kid got some nice footwork, man. Like he be doing some crazy stuff.
You know what, Patrick? I think what hurt a lot of those guys, and you'll appreciate this, both you guys, there was no preseason.
Right. Yeah. He can play.
Yeah. There was no preseason.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like they couldn't really show people on the grass what they could do, and then the rosters got cut down. Say, hey, man, we got to go. We got to go play games.
Right.
We can move around with some young guys, right? Yeah. So hopefully this year he gets into training camp, and he can show people what he can do. But he's a talented young man.
That he is, man. I like we talked about Ronde with his vision. I seen him do, and now we see him every day.
Oh yeah,
he's on the practice squad.
Yep,
man. When we seen that guy do some stuff, I was like, yeah, he can play.
Yeah,
he can play. You just need opportunity.
Yeah, that's all. And you guys know that it's just a matter of timing and opportunity.
Yeah,
does it meet at the same time? And if it does, you got a shot.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Coach, I think it's safe to say the biggest win for you there in Arizona State happened in 2019 when you beat at that time the number 6 Oregon Ducks. They were ranked 6th in the country, led by soon-to-be Rookie of the Year Justin Herbert. You had an outstanding game plan against Justin Herbert. So talk a little bit, 2-part question for you. Talk a little bit about the success you had. Like what going into that ball game, what did you want to do to Justin Herbert? And did you foresee him having the rookie campaign that he just had in 2020 with the Chargers?
Well, his rookie camp did not surprise me. He's a very talented young man. He has wonderful arm talent, can get the ball to anywhere on the football field, right? And is a better athlete than probably people anticipated. I mean, he can move a little bit to be so big, right?
Yeah.
But our whole key was eliminate the run. Don't let them run the football on us.
Mm-hmm.
So we really shut down the run, and then it was not allowing the big play. We just felt if they're gonna beat us, we're gonna make them nickel and dime us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we did some things to bring some pressure that he quite couldn't see. It was we mixed up the front a little bit, muddied the front, and gave him some dirty eyes and gave him some dirty looks.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to hold on to the ball, and we hit him. We hit him early. Okay? And I think anytime you hit them quarterbacks early, they don't like that.
Yeah.
When you got to storm the castle, and we stormed the castle a couple times and got to him, and then we took the ball away, and then our offense, and then obviously, and Brandon Ayuk. You guys, you faced him twice already, right? The wide receiver. Now he had a pretty good night too. Now he's a good one too. Now he's pretty good now. That Ayuk fellow. He caught the big one down the rail on him at the end in the fourth quarter when the quarterback brought him back.
Yeah, I remember that game. That was definitely a crazy, wild game.
Yeah.
What stepping back into college football, what's been like the craziest college stadium you've been in so far?
Oh, well, we went to Michigan State.
Okay.
Not last year, but 2 years ago. Ended up beating them there too.
Okay.
It was they had the whiteout, and it was but you played those games. I mean, it's like we walked up in there, and I'm like, okay, boys.
Hey, Coach, what people don't realize, most college stadiums are bigger than NFL stadiums.
Oh, ain't no.
Yeah, majority of them.
And the tradition of it, that's a traditional school, and playing them and all that. And we had beat them the year before here. Now we were going back, and it was kind of like, okay, we're coming back to their place, and we're like, okay. But you know what? I did like the pros. So we're going to play them on Saturday. I took the team out on Thursday. Said, we leaving Thursday, boys. They said, what? I said, yeah, we're leaving Thursday. I said, we're going to be ready. We're going to get out there. We get Thursday, Friday, we have a little walkthrough, rest up, get them to time change the whole deal, man. And our guys walk out into the field, man. We say, Coach, we're good. We good. I said, you hear all that noise? Don't worry about it. We good. He said, Coach, we good.
Hey, that's dope right there, Coach. That's super dope. Hey, Coach, so you just turned a very young 67 years old in April.
Yes.
Look extremely good for a 67-year-old man.
Thank you.
When you look at what you're doing there at Arizona State, influencing so many young kids on and off the football field, how much longer do you see yourself coaching at Arizona State?
I think this, when you lose your passion and energy, then it's time to stop.
Yeah.
So I get in this building every morning, guys. My workout starts at 4:30.
You start at 4:30.
I'm here at 4:30.
Every day.
6 days a week.
6 days a week. Okay. That's the first thing part of your routine. Okay.
So that's my routine. I get in here and I work out. Do aerobics for about an hour, do lifting for about an hour. So about 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I get behind my desk. No one's here yet because the coaches aren't here until they get here about 7:30. So I can do everything I had to prepare myself for coaches and the players during the day. No one can bother me. I got that done. And then when I get that done, it's just a matter of we have meetings, we're scouting, we're recruiting, we're doing whatever we're doing. People have access to me because I've done what I need to do. I got to get me right first. Right. If I ain't right, ain't nobody right. I got to take care of me, right? Mm-hmm. Just me. That's just the old DB in me, right? You get up in the morning, you get your work done. And then whatever happens during the day, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I'm calm during the day. I'm good because I needed to get my fix is getting up in the morning thinking, how am I going to attack today? What I'm going to do at home? I talk to this coach. I might have to call this player today. Now we got some recruits to talk with, whatever it may be. But I'm thinking about that in the morning as I'm working out, and that starts my day.
Yeah.
What time do you leave the building?
Oh, like what's 4 o'clock here now? I'm off season. I probably leave here by about 6.
Coach, I appreciate what you're saying as far as being a coach, getting you done first, because I do the same way when it comes to getting myself prepared for practice, getting myself prepared for the day. I like to get my workout done, steam room, sauna, whatever it may be, because now, before practice or right before you got those meetings, coach give me about 20 minutes. So now guys rushing. Oh, I got to get in the steam room real quick. I got to get in the hot tub real quick. Now I got there early enough to make sure I take care of all of this stuff. Because guys always like, man, why are you here so early? Or like how you got your stuff done so early? Because I took care of me and now I don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
Well, Patrick, both you guys, and this is why you guys have great careers, is that you understand the process and the preparation.
Right.
Here's one thing I do know. For the history of mankind, lost time is never found.
Right.
You don't get it back.
Nah.
And you don't want to spend the rest in what when you're behind, you're always like trying to chase it. You're chasing time. You can't catch it, man.
No.
Late.
Yeah.
Late.
You'll never get it back.
No, you don't get it back.
Yeah. You said something then, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Dropping some jewels for us here, all things covered. Pat Peterson, Bryant McFadden. Coach, we're almost done. So we're going to transition to the superlative part of this show. Okay. Here's where we hit you with rapid fire questions. We want your honest, unbiased answer. We're going to treat this superlative part like your rivalry, like you get ready to play Arizona, right? Okay. I know they don't like you. You don't like them. So let's see how you handle the Wildcats, to say the least. First question I have for you. You've given us a few so far throughout this conversation, but what is your best Hermanism?
My best one?
I think I know where you're going to go with the best one.
No, I tell you what. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. That's okay. Nothing good happens after 12 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Nothing good.
Think about that. Well, after 12 p.m. at night, nothing good happens after 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're right.
True story.
Just think about it. Just remember that now.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get older like me one day.
Yeah.
Just remember, Coach said 12 o'clock. I used to tell them players 12 o'clock rule.
Yeah, 12 o'clock.
If you ain't got down by 12, get up out of there. Wherever you at, get up out.
Coach, we had Mike Tomlin on during the season. Yeah. And Mike got some great Tomlinisms, as we should say. But one of the famous one I've heard from you, and you wrote a book from it. Yeah. You play to win the game. How did that come about?
Well, it was in a press conference, and you know what? You say it, and I know people probably say he should say that. I only said it one time. the day that I said it.
Really?
And here's what it was about. I never said it again. I never repeated it again. I never repeated it on television. I don't say it. I don't have to say it. And here's what I was basically saying. We were a 2-5 football team. My second year with the Jets. We sit 2-5. And media person started getting kind of like, well, you think a 2-5 is going to quit. Didn't say it, but kind of insinuated that. And I said, whoa. And that's when I said what I said. And the reason I said it was for this. In life, when you start something, you finish. You don't tap out.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
Yeah.
There's no option for you to tap out. I said, oh, no. We ain't tapping out. We're going to play.
Right.
Guess what? We won the division. We were 2-5. We won the division.
Wow.
2-5, basically at the halfway point.
But it has nothing to do with football.
No.
It's life. See, let me tell you guys something. And both you guys have done a great job of this. That last name you possess, that's the most powerful possession you can ever give your children.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good last name.
Yep.
Okay? And when you say, I'm a professional football player, I'm a professional coach, when you walk into that stadium, that bears your family's name. And that helmet for the organization you play for, whoever you work for, right? You can't tap out. It doesn't matter what the score is. Patrick Peterson's out there playing, you out there playing corner, and it don't matter if we're getting beat 50-0. I'm covering my guy.
Yeah.
I'm covering my guy. I don't care what's happening, but I'm gonna cover this guy.
Right.
You can't do that, man. Once you start tapping out and say, hey, man, it don't matter, you know what? Time for you to stop.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
You can't do it, man. It's just because then it becomes easy.
Yeah. To start tapping
That's all I was saying. I said, man, this game means too much to me. Ain't nobody tapping out. We ain't tapping out at 2-5. We're gonna play.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely remember that.
We love
the greatest Arizona State athlete ever.
Ooh.
You had Barry Bonds, you got James Harden, Phil Mickelson, Reggie Jackson, and Terrell Sizzle Suggs.
T-Sizzle. Ooh.
I know a lot of them, but one of them's probably, I know more than the other ones. A good friend of mine lives kind of where we have our other house up in Carmel. Is Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
You know, he's a football player too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some big time iconic names.
I mean, what are you gonna say? Great names. Great players.
Next up for you, best cornerback you ever coached against.
Oh. Against professional football?
Yeah. And you've been around the game a long time.
That's long.
I know.
Hey, Coach, you had to sit back?
No, I can't answer that one. No, I ain't gonna answer that one.
You had to sit back?
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Okay. What about this then? Because I know you're so knowledgeable of the game. We love hearing your stories. Best cornerback you've ever seen.
Ooh-wee. Went to your school?
Yeah.
Deion.
You gotta say prime. Yes, sir.
What made Deion?
It ain't taking nothing away from you.
Oh, I know, Coach. That's my favorite.
But yeah, he the one.
What made him so special outside of what we know? You saw it firsthand. You know the game.
Changed the game.
And I know Deion. He's a good friend. Just his instincts, man. And when you threw the ball over there was a good chance that they were about to score.
Yeah.
You on offense, you threw the ball against the defense, and when you throw it over there, they might score because he's gonna catch it and run away with it. But his confidence, his ability to just shut the whole side of the field down.
Yeah.
He could do that now. I mean, he was, he could run, he could turn. I mean, all the elements to play the position was a gift. And he was confident. And look, and you guys know this, you guys played. I've always said this. You study the opponent during the week, you know what I'm saying? The guy you're gonna play against and all that. But I've always said this, when I walked out there, all the opponents, they're faceless. It don't matter who they are.
Right.
It's a matter how you gonna play.
Right.
That's what I always tell my teams. We're going to give them people respect. They're good. But we got to set the standard.
Yeah.
And when you walk out there to play, man, it's like, okay, I understand this dude's great. He's a Hall of Fame. I get it. But you know what? I'm going to play to a certain standard. And if it don't turn out good for me today, okay. But there's a standard I got to meet every day I line up out there, man. And that's what look, I never missed a practice. I never missed a start. From high school, college to pro football. That's my claim to fame. I never missed a practice. I never missed a start.
Wow.
That's big
time.
I was going to hold myself accountable, and I wanted those guys in the huddle to know, hey, man, we can trust Coach. We can trust Herm. He got it.
He's going to be there.
He's going to be there for me. We good, right? That's all you want.
Yeah.
That's all you want, man. That's all you want. People think, well, it's not, no. It's to gain the respect of your teammates, knowing I count on that dude out there, man. Yeah. Whatever he got, he gonna give it to us. I ain't never got to worry about his effort. I ain't got to worry about him tapping out. He ain't tapping out. He gonna play.
Yeah. Nah, that's love right there, man.
Big
Coach, Coach, we appreciate you jumping on all things covered.
Appreciate both.
That was some great insight, some great nuggets, some great jewels for all of our viewers and listeners. Coach, this was awesome, man. We really appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate both of you. God bless you.